Greetings everyone, this is IP with another video. It's been at least 2 or 3 months, since the last time I put up a video. And, those were fun to do. I do this for enjoyment, not for clicks, not for likes, although it would be nice to have those. But, this is just something I like to do in my spare time. So if you're watching this video, just, know that this is from the heart. It's just a hobby of mine, I guess, just to express my enjoyment with films. I love films. I'm a film connoisseur. But I have a specific type. I like fun films. I like action, lots of action with story, as of course. But, I'm not a big fan of drama films. Um, you know, Mystery films. I like crime films. Um, social commentary type films as well. But, you know, I like escapism. I really like films with fantasy. And this film that I'm about to talk about hasn't come out yet, but I'm looking forward to it in this Mortal Kombat film. I don't know how many, well, I can assume, but I'm not entirely sure how many people are fans of the MK franchise, which is a video game. First one released, I believe, in '93, if I'm not mistaken, and the latest one that was released was released this year, which is Mortal Kombat 11. The 11th installment of this franchise. So it has a huge following, co-following. It's very popular in today's culture. A lot of people my age. I'm 30, about to be 31 tomorrow, so I'm excited about that. But anyway, most people my age, or you know, as of late, probably younger. I'll say no younger than 20. Well, probably 18. A lot of people have been reintroduced to this franchise because of the latest installments. So I'm not entirely sure how many are familiar with the original games. The story was rebooted throughout, installments throughout the years. But moving on from the game, I just want to speak about the film. The first film, Mortal Kombat came out in 1995. I was 6 years old. I remember my mother taking me. Her and my grandmother went, and that may sound odd to hear someone's grandmother going, but my grandmother is a huge action buff as well. I think that's why I get it from her, my mom. My father, I get, the love for crime films from him. So, it's a good mixture, I say. But the first film, Mortal Kombat, that was released in 1995, I loved it when it came out. I just, at the time, you just seeing, it wasn't common for a video game to have story until like Tekken, where you can actually see it through cutscenes. And, when you pass the whole game, you have this, ending clip where they show, certain things that happen throughout the story. We didn't have that with Mortal Kombat when the original ones were released. It was just be a paragraph at the end of the game when you pass it saying Liu Kang won and blah, blah, blah. So to see these characters come to life on the big screen was a huge upgrade from the regular Sega Genesis, installments. I was really excited as a child, and it was one of my favorite films. And I also believe it was a breakthrough film for other video game adaptations. It was, Street Fighter came out with one prior to that, but it sucked. I can say that right off the rip. I mean, it was garbage. Mortal Kombat, the first film, I believe they got the tone right. Now looking back, as I've gotten older, I believe that the tone was right, but I have issues with it now because, at the time, there weren't no expectations for the film. It came out at a time where, like I said, we were just excited to see a game adapted. So they did a good job for the time period. Then 2 years later, or either 3 years later, they came out with Mortal Kombat Annihilation, which was, and again, at the time, I was just excited to see a Mortal Kombat film. I was young. I was like 8. So I liked it during that time. But, as you become a teen and, you get older, you look back and say, oh, this was cheesy. It reminded me of a Power Rangers film or something. So it was a while till we saw anything. Oh, and then they came out with a series. Not sure how many people remember this, but they had a Mortal Kombat Conquest series. Now, that was neat. I actually liked that show that came on TNT. I was a wrestling head. During that time. And, in between watching wrestling, when it, goes off, you'll see Mortal Kombat Conquest. At the time, it was WCW Nitro. And once that goes off, you'll watch Mortal Kombat Conquest, as I did as a child. And it was a good, unique series. It was supposed to be a prequel to the actual tournament. It starred, the main character was Kung Lao, Zero, and Tasha. These were 3 of the main characters, sort of like a trinity, to emulate Liu Kang, Johnny Cage, and Sonya. You had one Asian guy and 2 Caucasians, one being a male and one being a female. You pretty much know where they were going. But the only accurate character that you can pretty much connect with, the film, the modern films, well, the modern storyline, which the first films took place in, was Kung Lao, the great Kung Lao, who was an ancestor of Liu Kang. So it was a good film, and after that, that was pretty much the end of it. We didn't see any live action Mortal Kombat films until Mortal Kombat Rebirth, which was a quick teaser that came out, I believe, in 2013 or 2012, if I'm not mistaken. And it was neat, but it wasn't intended to be a film. But due to fan service and people really finding it to be a nice teaser, they went along and they made a series called Mortal Kombat Legacy, which had 2 seasons. Wasn't the best, but it basically put a unique spin on the Mortal Kombat franchise and showed more of the darker elements of Mortal Kombat, by it not being PG-13 like Mortal Kombat, the two films that were released in Mortal Kombat Conquest it was rated R. And it was a web series, by the way. Fast forward now, after, tweets from fans, after, so many requests afterwards to, because it was confirmed, I believe, in 2014 or 15 that a script had been written and it was supposed to be produced or directed by James Wan, and we ain't hear anything for years. And, this year now it's been confirmed that they're making a Mortal Kombat reboot film. And so far, it sounds amazing to me. I'm just looking forward to this. I really believe this is going to really be the film that kind of bridge the gap between casuals and fans of this particular franchise. It sounds like it's going to be story driven. I'm in love with the cast. I see some of the training that they're doing, and Greg Russo, who is the writer of the film, said that he just saw some Easter eggs and things on set, because they're already about to start filming on the 16th, and they're constructing the set for each scene, and he already seen some things and he's amazed by it, and he said he couldn't even sleep at night. So I'm hyped, of course. So I'll be just posting new things on my YouTube, just constantly speaking about current updates of this film. And not to mention another film that I really loved, that's coming out the same month, is Tomb Raider. A lot of people, it had mixed reviews, but I loved it. I loved it a lot more than the Angelina Jolie films. I'm sorry. Actually, I'm not sorry. It was a good film. And I was fearful that they weren't going to make a sequel, but now that's coming out. So, man, we got a lot to look forward to. John Wick 4, of course, the Batman solo film. it's a lot to look forward to. So yeah, I'll be talking about more. I'll be posting more videos consistently. So be on the lookout for that. IP signing out.